I saw the world to be a place mostly in line with arts. I saw God's creation to be more of arts. And I mean, whatever was in mind, you let it out via arts. If it's not about words, then it's about arts. Arts is about what's in the thoughts that has been created to come out in reality. This time it's no more in the mind, but it's been brought out either by your word or your creation. And God, they say, breathed into whatever he created to bring life into it. So I always say I'm playing that part, breathing into most of my ideas and just bringing them into reality. I've realized in this world, many are not able to think straight or be happy in life because they wake up not having nothing to feed on. And one who doesn't have anything to feed on for some time becomes disoriented in their thought patterns in life.
All right, Sally Polly, welcome to the ABC show. More than happy to have you here.
Thank you, Harrison.
All right, so I would like to understand your life growing up and how you got into the space in which you are. So tell us about yourself and then how you got into the visual art space and what you do now.
All right, thank you for the opportunity. Once again, my name is Polly. Polly comes. doubles up as my brand name. Right. So this whole journey started way back when I was a kid. I had things for art. I had things for abstract things. I believe I was in my own world. My own parents and siblings couldn't even understand me at that time because I believe my creativity was beyond measure. I always told myself I see the world in a different perspective, as in point of view, different from how people perceive it. So this is how I grew up. So basically, most things intrigued me. The way default things were seen in the world, I didn't see it that way. I remember my dad used to have a couple of diaries with companies he worked with. So mostly he was giving these diaries in which he passed on to us. So at that time, I had this, it's a slimmer one, those slimmer kind of diaries.
Like the pocket.
Very good, like a pocket diary, in which I started writing my thoughts. Even at that time, I was very tender, roughly between 7, 8 years.
Wow.
So I started writing my thoughts about life and how I perceive life.
At the age of 7? That's amazing.
If I should believe, if my thoughts should be right. Between that age. So between 7, 8, 9, thereabout. Right. So I remember a part of it. I wrote that I have a very different point of view about life. I still sometimes it just comes in again. It just bounces back like, I remember. So I'm still looking for it's somewhere. I saw it some time ago, some years ago. I'm still looking for it.
The diary, you mean?
Because fast forward, out of those words I wrote, that's where it's linked me out now. That's the juncture in which I am now. So I believe it was a path which aided me, to get to know myself, to get to know what I'm supposed to do in life. And I pursued it. So,
So, usually when you're done with secondary school, JSS or junior highs, I should say, everybody wants to go to the sciences. It's more of the best go to the science, the middle ones end up in arts and business, then a grade comes after science. Then, it's as though arts was for those below the belt. For you, it was an interest that you had developed growing up. So it was just obvious that you were going to do arts. Was it that what it was for you?
I'll say yes. I'll say yes because, like I said earlier, I saw the world to be a place mostly in line with arts. I saw God's creation to be more of arts. And whatever was in mind, you let it out via arts. If it's not about words, then it's about arts. Arts is about what's in the thoughts that has been created to come out in reality. This time it's no more in the mind, but it's been brought out either by your words or your creation. And God, they say, breathed into whatever he created to bring life into it. So I always say I'm playing that part, breathing into most of my ideas and just bringing them into reality.
Right.
So whoever it astonishes, I say it's not me, it's God who put these things into me, and the reason why I'm putting them into reality.
All right. See how you connect the God factor to being an artist? And so let's take you in high school, you pursue art. How was it for you? Was it something that came naturally? You excelled in every single thing related to art. And right then, before the show, I was saying that most of the artists I've had on the show went to KNUST, a few have gone into architecture.
Right.
But you chose to do something different. And that for me is something I really want to hear about. How was it? How was art and senior high school for you?
Okay, so back in morning, I did Morning Star though. Okay. So back in Morning Star, I had a thing mostly for, shall I say, graphic design, because at that time we didn't have electives, neither do we have course something. Yeah, but I realized I had a thing for graphic design. Okay. So at that time, I relate graphic design to mostly any subject that could easily link to art.
Okay.
Yeah. So I remember anytime it was time for graphic design, my spirit was so elated.
You're the happiest person in the class.
Yeah. Because it had come to my favorite subject.
Okay.
I wouldn't have called it my favorite subject because there was a whole lot entailed.
Okay.
But I began to fall in love with graphic design because of the mixing of the colors, the astonishment of mixing black to white and turning into ash, mixing other colors for it to just generate into something, and a whole lot connected to the real meaning of art in which we're all taught. Okay. But for me, it became a big deal because some of the things I never really knew.
Okay.
I had an idea, but I didn't know these were the reasons behind these things. Okay. So it became a whole lot of a big kind of world for me, in which graphic design and Morning Star really unveiled me to what I'm doing today. Okay. So getting to senior high school, metamorphing from my thoughts and ideas that I picked from my graphic design time at Morning Star, I would say it was something that I passionately chose. Okay. Yeah, I passionately chose to do visual arts in school. And at that time, people always looked down. People looked down upon graphic designers and stuff like that. So I had a couple of friends who told me they could even help me to, go change my course and probably get into general arts or science. Like, I almost followed through, you know what I mean? But I went home that evening and sat down to myself. Is this what I want? Okay. Is this what I really chose? Okay. Would my spirit be happy even after a successful change of my system? Yeah. But I followed through and I'm like, no. I told that friend, no, I'll stick to what I want to do, what my spirit tells me, in which is the visual arts, because I believe it's going to create a whole lot of beautiful journeys for me. And today I'm just I'm just plying that path and, creating stuff for myself and the world.
Sounds amazing. And I mean, personally, I have a lot of history with artists. So anytime I get to interview one, I just wish I could. I love art. I'm unable to apply any of the things that you do. I mean, I can mix basic colors, but
okay.
I've done a bit of painting here and there, but I'm sure there are no works that will sell anywhere.
You never know.
They'll be in my room.
You never know.
Yeah. So you decided to go main into studying your own hustle right after high school. How was that decision? How did your parents take it?
Wow. Talking about high school sometimes brings emotional, feelings within the system, but we'll still say it anyways. Okay. When I was within high school, like I said, I ventured into visual arts, in which a whole lot I was open up to a whole lot there. So as I was even there, I asked myself, is this the time that I could? Is this time the right time to start something worthwhile? Worthwhile as in something to attract money.
Okay.
Something that at the end of the day, I know me and my colleagues are in school, but I could probably use my weekends to start putting things together, selling out to the world and letting the world know who Polycoms is. Okay. Then at the end of the day, I've read stories. I used to love reading magazines a lot. and watching like international TV channels and stuff like that. So I was very abreast with youngsters and startups and how successful they get. So it's always intrigued me, and thus I had wanted to even start something even after junior high, not even in secondary school.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I had that business mentality right from a very, very tender age. I really love business and how successful it gets, the trials and tribulations that goes through, and how successful they later become. So all was part of those kind of things intrigued me a lot. Reason I felt I could even start whilst I was studying.
All right.
Yeah.
So fast forward, done with high school, start your own business. What was it about? How was that journey?
Okay. So done with high school, wanting to start my own business. And all this was in the midst of a brouhaha. Brouhaha in the sense that some few months to writing my SSC at that time, my mother suddenly passed.
Whoa.
Yeah. My mother and I were pretty much close.
Wow.
So shouts to her. She's the reason why I'm doing jewelries today.
Okay.
Because she was a staunch lover of jewelries.
Right.
And as a youngster, always when she wanted to put her jewelries on, I'm the one she called. Yeah, to help her. It's a necklace, bracelets, and others. Yeah, even earrings.
Right.
Yeah. So my mom and I were very cool, and she was very fashionable too. Wow. Yeah. So after passing, it was a hard blow for me because I was about writing my final exams.
I can understand.
And in the midst of all that, so successfully I was done. And after school, most of your colleagues are doing colleges, universities, and with their flying colors, and everybody is happy for their children because they are going to the
next level
of their lives. Yeah. My case was different. So when I decided to really start my entrepreneurial journey in line with jewelry, and secondly, concept development. I love bringing out concepts apart from jewelry. That's what I do too. I develop concept for anything under the sun that makes sense, right? So actually I started. So I remember I started doing this with this station, TV station at that time. Was it Sky TV?
Okay, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah,
at that time, I think they were based in Abilingpe at that time.
Okay.
Yeah. In between time too, I did that roughly for some couple of months. I always say I retired early. Some couple of months. It wasn't even a year.
Okay.
Like between 7 or 8 months down the line, I decided to retire, call it quits, and help join a friend's basketball. Should I say project he has started called Dynasty Basketball. Okay. Yeah. It was being run by, I think, Isaac Kwapon. Yeah, Isaac Kwapon, a very good friend I schooled at Presec with. Okay. Yeah, he had started this basketball motivational, inspirational, coaching thing in which I fell in love with and I decided to help at that time. So I also did it for some time and I later called it quits. And I decided to enter my own personal entrepreneurial journey in line with my jewelry line. And I decided to name it Polycoms after my own self. And it's been magic since. And at the backdrop of my mom's departure, I always do things in which I use it to inspire women. Okay. So my jewelry brand, at the end of the day, simply because of my mother, is dedicated to women. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Women and whatever they go through to raise us as humans. And we also help make the world a better place.
Wow. I've always said that once we lose someone down here, because of the relations we have and the relation we have with them and the connections we have, I believe that they become more angels that are looking down on us. So for me, I always say that, yes, they are gone, we've lost them here, but you know that even if there's no one watching, there's someone above there that's looking at everything that you're doing. And so for me, that's where I always get inspiration from when I lose a family member. It's not easy to deal with, but that feeling gets me going that, Charlie, somebody get my back.
Certainly.
Certainly. So the entrepreneurial journey will be easy. It's not easy. It's not going to be easy anytime. But how has it been? What are some of the successes you've chopped? What have you done? Do you sell to people outside? How do you sell your stuff? How do people get to reach you? What are some of the challenges that you've... these are like 10 questions put together.
Of course. I know how it feels, But as a creative person, you should be able to, be able to put all of these together and just go straight and hit the nail straight on the head. So I would say my first success I chalked within this path I chose was okay. Let me put up a synopsis of something that happened before this whole thing blossomed. So I remember I didn't put in this when it was time for schooling, and I decided not to,
go to tertiary.
Enter tertiary. I remember sometime my dad called me. Vividly remember, sat me at our porch at that time. I thought he was going to discuss something, with me and stuff. So here I should sit down. Called me. I sat by his side, and at this very moment, he called me Chief. May he so rest in peace too. Yeah, call me Chief. I said, Daddy. So at this point, from him, at this point of your life, what have you decided to do with your life? Now that you said you don't want to do tertiary and stuff, your elder sister said she's ready to pay for you to do UPSA at that time. At that time it was IPS. To do UPSA, to at least start from there and, something, whatever, so that at least you're able to build up certifications for yourself like others are doing. And she told me, you said you are still not ready for it. What's the way forward for your life? I was like, Daddy, yeah, I told her that. I'm simply not ready because that's not my field. That's not the path I've chosen. My path I've chosen is what I made you know. I remember you've asked me a couple of times, and I told you the path I've chosen is to start my own brand, start my own company. I know it's going to be difficult, but at the end of the day, I know with passion, dedication, perseverance, I'm going to pull through. So actually, this that I'm doing now at the moment is what I've chosen. Schooling maybe later I'll do, but right now, as you and I sit here at the moment, this is what I want to do, and I'm sorry if I'm not playing in line with what you guys have for me. I know you are very good and you want the best for me. But at this moment, I've already started a journey. It's not easy. Either you are in for me or I'm going it all alone. And I know God by my side, I'll succeed. He looked at me shaking his head. It's like, fine. If that's what decided, yeah, fine. So, a year after, I remember I started, on the side too, I make my own leatherworks.
Okay.
Yeah, leatherworks. So talking about footwear.
Footwear as well.
Yeah.
Sandals,
slippers. Shoes, slippers, baby shoes, elderly shoes, whatever. Anything. I was so much into slip-ons back in school. Okay. Yeah. I remember and this friend, his name is Faisal Buhari. Okay. Yeah. I was in Presec with him, and when he heard I started a business in line with slip-ons, as in leatherworks, it's like, damn. Back in school, this guy loved slip-ons so much. Back in school, I hardly wore this sandal kind. I had my Nike slides or Echo sandals or, different. Yeah, I was so much in love with slip-ons. So he was like, he would have been damned if he didn't realize I was doing something in this regard. Because this is what he knew me for. Yeah. So back in some years, he got to realize I was doing that, and he wasn't so amazed. But I was like, wow, things in line with life and what we apply to do. Yeah. So later, when the business was getting a bit successful, I decided to gift my dad on his birthday those beautiful sandals I had made, including some other stuffs. He didn't know it's gotten to that point, right? So at that time, he wasn't with us. He was in Adenta. So I decided to go there on that day with a card, beautifully written poetry and everything. So he was happy to see me as a son. Happy birthday, Daddy. There's what I have for you. And he opened this. He saw the sandals. I said, yeah, that's one of my creations. He was so astonished, like, really? I said, yeah. You remember the day we sat at the porch, the story I told you asked me my feelings about wanting to go to uni and stuff like that. I told you I was already on the line. It just took patience and faith in me. So actually, you're one of the first people I'm doing this for. And for this very collection, you are the first person to have it as a dad. I could see he was emotionally happy, sad, joyful for his son and everything.
It was a mixture of feelings.
Yeah. It was wow. Yeah, he thanked me so much, blessed me, and fast forward, I believe these are some of the blessings which are just opposing over many beautiful realities and stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah, so
now, what are the collection of things that you do? You do the jewelry, you still do the sandals, the slip-ons, you still have all these collections running, or you've now specialized into just one thing? And if you've specialized into just one, why?
Okay, sure. So I still do both.
Okay.
I still do both. It's not that easy putting all of these together because I believe I have passion for all of them. I still do both. So actually, it's the leather works being the slip-ons in which I took a break from some time.
Okay.
It came to a time that the jewelry was really being demanded for, and it's still being demanded for.
Okay.
I think my luck or my blessing would be me targeting ladies or me dedicating it to ladies. You know, ladies have jewelries as their besties.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah, ladies have jewelries as their best friends and they don't play with their jewelries.
Yeah.
Even if they are going to bathe, I believe they want to wear something to complement.
That you can bath that.
Yeah.
It won't fade, it won't go bad.
Yeah. So they are very certain on it. So I believe I created a niche for myself within the lives of ladies and everything.
Okay.
I came to fall in line with their thoughts and how to put on jewelries. I even became someone they could look up to or call when they needed ideas about how to rock their jewelries and everything.
Okay.
So it became something which was much demanded, and it took a bit of my time. So I needed to put the leather works a bit on the side. And thus I was waiting for a time in which I could get other people to join the team so that it becomes a bit flexible for me. So I could have put it all together. So at this very juncture that we're talking, I have both running.
Great.
Right.
Great. This means that you've expanded the team. You have other people on board.
Right. I have partners.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that journey been as well? I mean, it's one thing running your own business solo and then bringing on employees. It's another thing having partners.
Oh, it's been quite amazing, challenging, and all that comes with, people having faith in you in line with your business or having that belief in you that can he do it? Has he made it? Who is he? Who's the brand? In this part of our world, I always say that, I need to say it. In this part of our world, people are looked down upon the most, especially if you are not there yet. People are mostly accustomed with people who are already there, already making a name for themselves, or a brand that they think make headwaves in line with the country in which they are in.
Yeah.
So if you're a newbie in the industry and you put those things out there that this is me, even your friends that you roll with, this is me, this is the idea I have in mind, and this is what I've targeted. That probably within these years, if you guys are supposed to come on board, within these years, trust you me, I'm the orchestrator of my own life, and I know what I'm saying. If you have faith like me, within the next 2-3 years, we can be here.
Yeah.
You see them just looking at you just like they've seen a ghost or something, not believing or not having faith in what you are saying.
Yeah.
So many will, down the road, many will go their separate ways, and you need to climb this success road yourself, or journey which at the end of the day brings success yourself.
Yeah.
But in line with those ones which you wanted to carry along, you get new people understanding you and coming in. So I would say that those who have come in now are people I never knew from Adam.
Okay.
People who at the end of the day also believed or had synchronicity in line with my thoughts and creativity.
Yes, you do.
And thus, they're like, let's roll.
Okay.
I know it's not going to be easy. I would love to become a partner. Let's do this together and let's see how far it's going to take us. So by far, these new partners I've gotten I never knew are those whom have really held onto both hands and really are aiding me onto the epitome of that mountain.
Charlie, Paulie comes. I'm enjoying the conversation so far.
Right.
I mean, I've started a few things here and there, so I know what it feels like to have people believe in what you do. I also know what it feels like to have other people want to invest or want to even tag along what you believe that you're growing. And we all have the dream of where we want our businesses to get to and have plans to get them there. Last week I interviewed another visual artist who said, I was in an MBA class, who said he wished he had realized the need for going back to school earlier, because some of the things he does now, it's because he decided to go beyond the arts. I mean, he has the skills, he has the knowledge and all that with the work. But when it comes to the accounting, the bookkeeping, the record keeping and all that, as an artist, all that didn't come clear until he decided to pursue an MBA. And I'm asking this because, I mean, this day and age, it's very easy to find information everywhere. I mean, we say YouTube is like the cheapest university everybody can get. How has that been? How has the learning curve been for you? Days of social media, you have to advertise. If you're an entrepreneur, you're on your own marketer. You are everything that the business needs. How have you managed this?
Interesting question, I'll say. Anyways, it's not been easy. It's not been easy because I'm one who, where I've gotten by far, I would say there's never been any way in which I've put in revenue to advertise my stuff. Because it was quite challenging to do that. Where was it going to come from? Of course, at the beginning of every business, you need to publicize yourself out there for people to get to know you, because you're selling a brand. For you to attract your sellers to come purchase, there needs to be something that needs to be done to put in revenue.
Sure.
Because there's no, I mean, you don't get a fish if you don't put a meat on the hook.
If there's no bait.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You need to do the baiting work well.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're going to catch the biggest fish of all, sorry.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't easy. So I would say it's mostly word of mouth and how great my works were. Yeah. And I apply this path myself.
Okay.
I decided to go out there, do my own publicity.
Okay.
And before I did this, I sat down one evening thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm all alone. I'm applying the path of solitude in line with this business venture. I still want to make it, because at the end of the day, success, there's so much beauty in success, you know. And I think I'll enjoy it, because when I do it and I get to one, I'll have to go to two, three, because I have 1,000,001 ideas in mind. So let me start myself. I know it's not going to be easy. So I remember it was the youth at that time that was a youth. I'm still a youth though, but I mean, I was targeting those who were way younger than me.
The younger ones.
Yeah, the younger ones than me. So I had wanted to do the junior high school section at that time, because any successful business will target everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, because I want everybody to come and purchase my stuff. But I'm like, no, let me target those who are way younger.
Okay.
So let me start with junior high schools. I could probably start with my alma mater, let them know this is what their own son has gotten into, you know, and in case their moms or their aunties or themselves, they want something, they can call upon me.
Okay.
I'll usher them into a great service for them to get to know me. So I did that for some time. It didn't really last in line with the way I wanted to publicize it. So fast forward, I'm like, let me just hit the colleges, as in the universities.
Okay.
So I remember back in the day, so all these ideas started coming after the departure of my dad. My dad passed away in 2018. Yeah. So I started having this like, whoa, the one who was supposed to aid me through, his last words were, he was astonished seeing my works and everything. And finally, with his blessings, he's passed away. Let me rise up and be much stronger.
Okay.
You know, these are broken times in which I'm supposed to lead. But let me rise up. I know it's not going to be easy. He who was there to aid me right now has joined my mother. So it's like mom not around, daddy not being around. Let me rise up and be a man and do this thing myself. And I know God will surely be on my side. So I decided to recreate a different concept in line with publicity, like you just asked. And I'm like, let me do it in that very natural way. So I'm going to hit the streets, let people know this is me, this is my brand, and this is what I'm about. So I decided to start with University of Ghana
Closest to all of us.
Yeah, because it was the closest. I've seen how, the students over there, how they are very good. How they were so in tune with fashion and, oh, my dear friends, the ladies over there, fashion was at its best at University of Ghana, because I'm saying so because that was the close to me in Accra.
Okay.
I'm based in Accra. So I started with a very cool hall. It's in the diaspora.
Okay,
right?
the diaspora hall.
Yeah. So, okay, no, I mean, those hostels are known as the diaspora.
Okay.
But the one I chose to start with was Liman.
Liman, okay.
Yeah, Liman Hall. So, hey, shout outs to my Liman people. Way back at that time, they showed me much love.
Okay.
Yeah, they showed me much love there. I met couple of friends, and other friends led me to other friends. Other friends led me to other friends. And so I made a great name for myself there. So I would say I involved a couple of my staffs even there.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of the students there helped me get in connection with some of the leaders there, and unveiled a couple of, most of my collections there. And we even ran a hub of something called Spring Rolls and Freebies.
Okay.
Yeah, in which I even unveiled there too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was much fun with Spring Rolls. It's another side of me that I also do.
Okay.
I love things about eateries.
I love that.
I introduced it so it was something like a fun time with jewelries.
Okay.
But come eat something, have fun, and have free jewelries.
Okay.
No, it wasn't even for sale.
It was free.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was free. Have free jewelries for yourself.
Yeah.
So at that time, it was great. It happened once, twice, thrice, I believe. Yeah.
That's great.
So shouts to Liman. Yeah.
That's great.
My peeps, I love your.
So with your product, you do direct sales, or you sell online? People can buy from online shops. You do more of wholesale to shops that do retailing, or you have agents on university campuses that sell for you. What model are you running now? Is it a mixture of models? Is it a mixture of different ways of selling the product?
Okay, it's mostly online, if I should say so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly online. I mean, things mostly in line with postings, and somebody sees it, especially in your contacts or other social media handles or something like that. Yeah, they hit you up, DM you, or probably send a direct message, and they get to purchase some. Okay. With the other ones too, it's simply word of mouth. Let me say these two are what are pushing me out there. Yeah, just these two basically for now.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sold food. I've run a restaurant before, and when you say word of mouth, most often you are likely to follow someone to a food joint that he says is good. Mm-hmm. You are likely to go to a food joint where you see the food on social media and it's appealing. You see that it's something you would want to enjoy. So, word of mouth, social media, I think is one of the best ways to sell if you have any product out there.
Right.
And I think for our generation, we can't be any luckier because, Charlie, when it started, it was just Facebook. Now there are so many social media platforms that you could easily use and selling your. Does it also determine the kind of clients that you have? Are they the younger generation, or is it a blend of different people? Because if you are mainly using online, then you have more of the younger generation. A few of the older ones, could find you here and there, but mainly the younger ones. Would you say that your products are for the young ones, or if you look at what you sell online, it's mostly the younger ones who are buying? I mean, when I say younger ones, not
Right. Okay. Since I started this jewelry business, I would say, because I decided to start with the youth. Though in my mind they weren't targeted for the youth, they were targeted for their moms. Moms, aunties, grandmothers who were very fashionable and everything. But I believe because I condescended to the levels of the youth, I've had much of the youth. As in the females though, I've had situations where younger guys who also love to come by for their girlfriends, better house and stuff like that. So climbing from that latter part to the mid,
age and all that.
Older generations, then to our mothers and aunties and everything. So I'll say by God's grace and all that comes with blessings, at the moment, I have every type of demographic. I mean, getting attracted to my stuff.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Now, I see you are big on the God factor. Yeah, I mean, you've the God factor right from the beginning of the conversation to now. You are big on that. How big is religion for you and in everything that you?
Okay. Well, thanks to my school Morning Star. Morning Star, shouts to the late Mrs. Shribble. She was the founder of Morning Star. You know, she started it. And during my time at Morning Star, there wasn't a time that she would not dedicate all of her pupils to God, especially morning assemblies and everything, you know. And she was the reason I came to love Psalms, you know, because most of our prayers and songs that would be sung at assembly came from Psalms.
Okay.
Yeah, especially Psalm 91, thereabouts. It's via her I really came to adorn that prayer, right? And I say, I've forgotten one of the Psalms in Psalm 1, 2, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's two of my favorite. So, and secondly, to money, never let us go without dedicating us into the hands of God.
Okay.
You know, especially leaving home for school early.
Okay.
Short prayer just to take us through. And you go to school to meet another one in which Mrs. Shribble will lead and be like, yo, let's dedicate ourselves to God and everything. So it made me realize there's a bigger force out there, whether I believe it or not.
Yeah.
Right? And these are the pedestals I've been raised up with. So in most of these situations in which I've started winning, I'll dedicate most of my stuff to God and my godly, executions in which I was directed by my mother, especially. Yeah. I wouldn't say I'm that religious or I am not, but my prayer counts.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dedicate most of my money endeavors into the hands of the Maker. After that, I'm gone. I always tell myself I can't be perfect. But once I think I've uttered a couple of words to my God, I'm good to go. Whatever happens is in His hands. So reason why, if you should hear me mentioning God a lot, I adore Him. Yeah.
No, I love that element, and I love the fact that it's being a startup. I remember when I first started a restaurant, there was a requirement that when a staff come to work, they were supposed to have morning devotion. In fact, any other major business that I've been involved in, I also grew up being a PK, my dad being a preacher and all that. Wow. Starting the morning with morning devotion and all that, growing. So I get that element and knowing that as an entrepreneur, you have all the wisdom, you have everything that you know and the experiences, but then there's still an upper hand that you commit whatever you're doing into.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, I know it, that if I do A, it's supposed to give me B, but there's still a hand that supersedes everything else that we do. For me, no matter which religion or where you come from, you just believe that there's a maker bigger than what we all do. And I love the element. Now, we're getting close to wrapping up.
Wow.
So I've been in a situation like yours before where my dad woke me up and say, this is what he said. So I wanted to join the army right after secondary school. Wow. And in my mind, it was more of, if I joined the army from secondary school, I could become an officer. I hadn't done any proper research, but I knew that I wanted to join the army. So right after secondary school, I bought a form, I got it, I was supposed to go. Then the last person we went to, who had retired as a colonel, saw my results and said, no, young man, go to the university before you join the army. And I was 20 when I finished secondary school. So it means that by the time I'm done with uni, probably wouldn't qualify for the army.
Right.
So for me, it was more of my dad wanting to stick to the army, you can do anything after, and me wanting to go to uni and deciding to choose to go for uni instead of going for the army. So I've been in that space where you feel that this is what you want to do. And I come back and I don't regret ever making that decision. And I look at you, you seem very happy doing everything else that you're doing. If you look back in time, days after Presec and everything else that you're doing now, you wish you had done anything different and choosing the path that you chose?
Once again, an interesting question. Yeah. Did I have anything I wanted to when I was younger? Okay, I think I'd wanted to venture into photography.
Okay.
Like I said, life threw a whole lot of shots at me. I was a very curious young guy, right? Sometimes I remember even as a kid, everybody was watching TV and I was so smallish and cute. So I'll lie on our carpet and beneath our center table at that time, everybody had a center table. I had this felt pen. I'd just be drawing whatever was in my mind at that time. Whilst people were gathered watching TV,
Wow.
I wouldn't be watching TV. Yeah. So I'll just be drawing. I think that center table was in park somewhere. And sometime in our storeroom somewhere. So it was turned upside down because of the things, and it was being taken. We were looking for something, and I saw those detailed drawings till there.
Okay.
I chanced into some things I did when I was younger. I'm like, ooh, these paths that we decide to think of in our heads really metamorph into realities if we believe it. Yeah. So, and always when I chance upon things like that, it puts me up straight, right? So, those things, those vivid memories, I think they were helping me to get to the path of being a photographer. Okay. Yeah, because I wouldn't say a professional one though. I just wanted to take them for fun. Okay. Especially, I love seeing people happy.
All right.
Watching movies at that time, going out, fanfares, Morning Star, those kind of things. It was so very cool at that time. And life in general, things that happen abruptly. Today you are here, tomorrow you are there. The emotions on people's faces when they should lose departed ones or loved ones. Yeah. Things that happen tragically in the lives of people. I wanted to detail each and every minute part of them and create a logbook or a photography magazine like that. Okay. Yeah. And write, I'm also good at writing. Okay. I didn't say that. I do a bit of poetry on the side.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I love writing and communicating a lot. So just do that, put the pictures upright in the pages and write some very positive utterances in line with the pictures that were seen. Right. So that was what I actually had wanted to do. So that was the path I was playing until all these stores metamorphed and melted down to jewelries and concept development. Right. So till date, I'm like one time in my life when I'm relaxed and doing great, I'll still venture into photography and put these, vivid thoughts into realities for the world to become a better place. You know what I
mean? I love that. Officially, I would want to invite you to the arts festival, like I said, because I think that it will be good to have visual artists of this day and age in high schools hear your story. Because mostly parents think that tertiary is the only way. I have done tertiary. I've seen people who haven't done tertiary doing more. I won't discount tertiary.
Right.
I won't discount it. But it's not the end to. It's not an end to a means. It's not the only way to make it, especially for an artist. And also because in this day and age, there are so many platforms that you can learn. So many platforms that you could just learn. A few days ago, I saw a satellite dish in someone's house, and I said, yeah, those days, for someone to have DSTV and they are home.
Yeah, it was a thing.
It was a thing. Now there's someone squatting in a kiosk somewhere that has a dish mounted to their kiosk. So the opportunity is there for you to learn. The major thing that everybody needs to know is what the options are. If I choose A and B, what am I likely to become? What can I learn? What can I experience? I say that I teach in a university. I say that the only thing that university cannot teach you is the experience. We can teach you all the theories. We can teach you all the formula. We can teach you everything. We can't put the experience in your head. You have to go out there and experience it for yourself.
Right.
And I am a lover of arts, and I would love to see your products. Wrapping up, what does the future look like for you? What would you call success in the next 5 years? What would you call success in the next 5 years? Photography, I know. A camera, a phone is even more than enough for you to do what you want to do in terms of photo. Yeah, you probably don't even need years, but and the work you do and the plans that you conceived in your mind, what would success mean to you if we met again in 5 years?
Great. As always, inspirational questions are what you thrust upon my face. Success to me will mean, like I said, I think I've mentioned this a couple of times, bringing almost all of my thoughts within out. So I made a vivid explanation from the beginning of our conversation. It's just like God having the thoughts of creating man. Yeah, it was a thought. He could have been there himself with his other, aide comes and still rule the world. But he decided to have a thought to create man and put the world right.
Right.
So fast forward to man, after creating him, this thought turned into a reality in line with his breath that he put into the nostrils of man.
Okay.
And out of that, man became a living being. And this is the metamorphosis of we are all over the place. So I always say my thoughts I can relate to God's thoughts too.
Okay.
They are things in mind, things within the soul and heart. Some of the things I've started bringing out, and I can see they are doing great. But they are not just doing great because of greatness sake. They are doing great because at the end of the day, I decided to bring these thoughts and also breathe into them. I always say my works are things that have been brought out to reality, and they've been breathed in by myself via God. So it will be what I'll call success is almost bringing almost everything that I need to bring out in the form of arts, in the form of motivation, in the form of inspiration, in the form of making joyful moments.
Right.
Seen right from here, happily ever after, and everything. I want my works to be known as things that brought happiness, mostly happiness and joy to the hearts of many.
Right.
So I believe I'm still learning. I've not gotten anywhere yet.
Right.
I'm still learning, and I pray to God I'm able to bring most of these things into reality.
Right.
And if I may add, one thing that's on my heart that I'll really call success, it's not even about the jewelry. Neither is it about my slip-on or leather business. I've realized in this world, many are not able to think straight or be happy in life because they wake up not having nothing to feed on. And one who doesn't have anything to feed on for some time becomes disoriented in their thought patterns in life. And I don't think the world has really played or sat down to really think about this. Not even the UN, who say they are in line with human, helping humans here and there. I believe it's a big challenge. I don't blame them. Neither do I blame anyone. So it's one thing I've decided to put on my heart to do. So the reason I'm saying it's not about my jewelry or it's not about my whatever I'm chalking in line with success. But I'm building up revenue by revenue. And in the next 2-3 years, I'm seeing me joining other great brands out there. I'm still talking to them. And I'm calling it Feeding the World projects. I'm going to start it from my own country and go to other disoriented places to make sure people are having nutritional organic foods to eat. So that I believe when that is done, then the world that we want to call peaceful, the world that we want to call people are not putting things right. Because once you are okay within, in your system, your belly is a bit full, not over full, not for you to think like but they are okay with something that is giving them nutrients. The reason I talked about organic foods, then I believe the world then can be a better place. But until then, hunger is ruling. I believe that's what is disturbing most people. So this is what I want to create out of my jewelry business, and as revenue is being put together, I call for other bodies who will have to join. They are almost welcome every day, all day. So that's what I want to use to help change the world to become a better place. Right. And that is what, when it's done finally, I'll call success.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Just to sum up everything you've said, I like the fact where you say, once you're hungry, it makes it difficult for you to want to even to reason properly and want to even achieve something else that you've set for. And from a startup point, if you don't have a means to survive on 8 to 5, 7 days a week in a month, in a year, it's hard to even want to start something because what you feed on is one. And then once you're able to feed yourself, then you can think of creating something else, because otherwise it becomes hand to mouth on a daily basis, and it's hard to do anything. But I love the fact that you are thinking just beyond you as an individual and want to do that good to humanity beyond Ghana and all over the world. That's something that we should all aim at.
Right.
And all I can say is I wish you the best in your journey. And
thank you so much.
I can't wait to come stop by your shop, get a slip-on, and see what jewelry I can grab for my baby girl. So, thank you very much. Polly Combs.
Polly Combs. You got it right.
Yeah, for coming on the show.
You got it right. can I use your platform to say thank yous to a couple of people who helped me down the lane when, I mean, they didn't know me from Adam, but they showed me love.
And where we can find your products, what social media handles we can find your products, that'll be fine.
Oh, okay, sure. So when I was down throbbing and, I mean, didn't know my right, left, there was this lady I met, out of nowhere. I didn't know her from Adam, but I met her via my cousin, right? And she got to me. Even, I wouldn't say family showed me much love, but I want to say this to people so that at the end of the day, you get to know maybe help will come, but it might not come directly from you. Yeah. It's going to come from
someone outside.
Another person you never dreamt would. Yeah, so I'm saying this not to just make her feel good, but to, motivate or inspire others who would have that tendency of wanting to help others. It's going to go a long way, and someday they are going to remember you. So this lady is known as, I know she's going to hate me for this, but I need to say this. Her name is Mavis Akosia Asantua Frimpong.
All right.
Yeah. I remember way back, she was in university at that time. Yeah. So she decided, I sent her some of my stuff to help me sell. It's like, why not? Bring it. So along the line, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks passed, these things weren't sold. So Mavis like, don't worry, I'll buy all of them. Let me get I'm like, for what? You don't do that. Like, no, leave me. I said I want to buy. How much? Counted the money in my face, like, pah.
Paid for everything.
Yeah. So that was I could say, if I should vividly remember, those were some of my first revenue I really had. Reason I still cherish this moment to date.
Right.
And fast forward, she's been a helper.
Right.
From the time I was trying trials, tribulations in line with this business, anytime I called up on her, she was down to earth and she really showed me love.
Right.
So I even have 1 or 2 collections in her name, which is still in the making. So Mavis, this goes to you. Secondly, I would love to say thank you, God bless you to Mommy Angie, my mother figure who's also helped me along the lane. So Mommy Angie, thank you for the love. Second, I have most mothers. After Mommy left, she left me in the hands of beautiful mothers. So another one is Agatha Bauer. I call her AB. Yeah. She's also helped me down the lane. God bless you, Mommy. I see you. And Herman Hoga. Herman is actually my business partner.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the one who's been going all over the place with me and stuff like that. So Herman, God bless you too. And lastly, Vera Kuko Obosu. Hey, Vera, I see you. Yeah, he linked me to you, and here we are spreading this gospel to the world. So Vera, God bless you so much. And it is what it is. And actually, I have something for you. So these should be done oftentimes to people who also cherish what you do. So these are bespoke earrings from my collection.
Whoa.
Yeah. So anything for your wife, girlfriend, you know what I mean?
All right.
Yeah.
So I have a daughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I hope it's just not too big for her, but I will cherish it, and I'll send you pictures once she adores it.
Yeah, we pray. Yeah. I pray it's. I'm sure it's perfectly gonna fit.
Sure, it would. And I'll send you pictures. No wahala.
Most grateful. I will. And if you don't mind, I'll give you most of my collections are named.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a collection I call the flight mode.
Okay.
Yeah. It depicts a bird in its flight mode.
Okay.
Yeah. It's an abstract. Most of my things are antique or abstract in nature. Right. So this depicts a bird in which is triumphing over failures, is triumphing over, oppression, suppression, and it's gotten to the epitome of that mountain. You can call the mountain Zion or something.
All right.
So flight mode depicts peace, joy, happiness. Everyone who struggled and has gotten to their happy place. This is for you. So these are the collections I made for people in that regard. Anytime they wear it, they have vivid memories of their downs and where they are at this time. So that's the name of my brand.
All right, Charlie. Thanks a lot. Thanks a million.
Pleasure, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.